let us see how to use bar models to solve percent problems. You can see you have a bar there, and let us see some other bars and problems that we can use for this discussion. Okay, these are benchmark percents, and normally you can use these benchmark percents to solve some problems. In other words, you may call these percents as decision percents regarding problem solving with bar models. You have 1%, that is actually 1/100 of a percent. 10% is 1/10 of a percent, 1/10 of a percent, because there is 10% in 100%, and that is 1/5 of a percent, because there is 20% in 100%, and that is 1/4 of a percent, because we have 4 25% in 100%. This is how bar models can be, fractions can be used to make different types of bar models. Whenever a fraction has a denominator of 2, the bar model will have 2 portions, and so on. Now look here. This is an example. What is 30% of 60? Okay, you have a bar there. Obviously you should have 0% and 100%. And the 60 should make 100%. So 60 is equivalent to 100%, and the 0 is equivalent to 0%. Now think of what benchmark a percent that we can use to divide this bar into portion. Obviously 10% is the simplest percent that can make 30%, and that is 1/10 of 100. So you should divide this bar into 10 portions, like you can see there. The portions should be of equal width or size. So beginning at 0%, you'll have 0, 10, 20, 30, 40%, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, back to 100%. Now go to 100 and think how many 10% make 100. You need to divide 100 by 10. Same applies to 60. You divide 60 by 10, and 6 will be equivalent to 10%. So in order to get the values after 6, you just multiply by 2, 3, 4, and so on. So you'll get 6, then 12, 18, 24, 30. 30 is 6 times 5. You have 5 portions there, 6 portions, and so on. So up to 54, and the last is 60. That is 6 times 10. So the question was, what is 30% of 60? Obviously it will be 18, as you can see. 18 is the answer. 30% of 60%. Look at this other example here. There are 20 students in mathematics class, and 40% of students are car riders. How many are car riders? So 0%, you have 100%, and 30 makes 100. So think of what benchmark percent you can use to divide this bar into portions. The benchmark percents are 1, 10, as you can remember, 20, and 25. Now, looking up which percent will actually arrive to 40% so easily, it is 20%. So the fractional representation of that is 1/5. So you should divide this bar into 5 equal portions, as you can see. So you have 20%, 40, 60, 80, and lastly 100. Now, in order to arrive to 20, you need to divide 100 by 5, 100% by 5. Same applies to 30. To get an equivalent value to 20%, you need to take 30 divided by 5, and that is 6. So the next value, 40, is obtained by taking 20% times 2. The same applies to 6 times 2, you get 12. That is equivalent to 40%. You may go and find other values if you wish, and therefore the final answer is 12. So there are 12 students who are car riders. Another example, 40% of Lincoln's band students play a brass instrument. This is an instrument, a music instrument. 28 students play a brass instrument. How many students are in the band? In this case, you need to find the total, which is equivalent to 100%. So that's why we have a question mark there. And 28 students makes 40% of students. So just estimate the position of 40% there, and that is equivalent to 28 number of students. Of students. And then if you take 40 divided by 2, that is a benchmarking percent. As you divide 40 by 2, and the same applies to get the value equivalent to 20%. You take 28 number of students divided by 2, get 14. Now thinking at 20%, in order to get 100%, you need 20% times 5. The same applies to 14. If you want to get the total number of students, you will have to take 14, which is equivalent to 20%, and you multiply to 5, you get 70. That is the answer. So there is actually 70 students in the band.